Hello friends, we're here for another episode of the Good Vibes Show. And today I have with me someone who exemplifies good vibes in many ways, Mr. Dinesh Kumar Kapila, former CGM of NABARD, the National Bank for Rural Development.
Yeah,
Is that
agriculture
correct?
and rural development.
Agriculture and Rural Development. We met many years ago in service. Both of us were there in a conference or a meeting or a special day. I think it was Hindi Diwas, was
Yeah.
it? And you were the main chief organizer of that. And later you remained posted in Kashmir and Himachal. But we'll begin with your illustrious father, Major General Rajinder Nath, PVSM, who not only was a war hero, but he was a very eminent author. I met him years ago when he was also chairman of the blind school. How much work he did for society. So, being his son, not being from the army, first come to that part. So, growing up, were you tempted? Was he tempted to get you into the forces? And talk about him a bit.
Well, Dad was hardcore army.
Hmm.
Nothing in the world was better than the army.
Hmm.
Nothing could equal the army.
Hmm.
So, it's without saying, if we are three brothers,
Yeah.
if all three had joined the army, he would have been the happiest person.
And how many joined?
One.
One.
One
Okay.
did join. One did join. One, I'll be honest, wanted to join the Air Force.
Uh-huh.
So, he went for the ND exam.
Mhm.
Dad said, Army first, Air Force 2. He said, IF1, Army 2. So when my father said it's Army 1, he did not write the exam.
Oh my God. This
Because
is the
he's
second brother.
Second brother.
Oh God.
I am being very honest. When my father was posted at IME as commandant, I looked at the obstacle course and said, Dinesh Kapila, this is not your cup of tea. I don't see myself jumping that ditch, and I don't see myself going up and down that W inverted.
But your dad could do it, your one brother could do it, so why couldn't you do
My
it?
cousins did it, my chacha did it, but I was a comfort-loving person. I said, this is not my cup of tea. Please spare me.
Have
I'll
a cup
appear
of tea
for-
also.
I'll do anything else. But, I mean, I love the army. I write about it. I've just published an article also.
Your personality is also army-like.
But the obstacle course, I thought, was not for a person of my physique.
Your mustache resembles your dad, and we have his picture here. Very illustrious general, and your personality too. So I think even without being in the army, you've got that trait.
So people actually, I don't know, you don't do consciously anything. But I meet people in my sector who know my father and now meet me, and they say, you're standing like your father, or suddenly you talk like your father. I'm not conscious about it. It's maybe it's just inherent in me. But if people say so, I accept it, and I say it's okay, part of life.
Let's start from his book, Military Leadership in India. A very popular book, and there is his picture also in older years than that. This picture is probably taken when he was a serving Major General over there. And this is from the Vedic period to the Indo-Pakistan wars, military leadership. Just talk about the book in general.
Well, my father had one lifelong passion. Even in the IMA, he introduced Indian battles, including Second Rajput, which sacrificed itself in Namka Chu in 62. It was something emotional for him. So he used to say, we study foreign authors. Why don't we bring up our own? So even he said, if I have some limitations in research, because that time there was no net, he sat and wrote in longhand this complete book.
Longhand.
In longhand. And then typed, then corrected, then sent to a publisher.
One thing you must agree, the older generations were much more hardworking.
Oh,
We
yes.
just talked about comfort zones.
Yes.
Amazingly hardworking.
He like he used to say, even today's army is better looked after. He said, when we were second lieutenants, we used to have a toss of a coin. The man who won the toss treated the other officers to a bottle of beer, but he got to sleep under the tree at night. So he was better off in the afternoon or night than the other officers who were in the open.
They had very tough times.
Yes.
I'm sure these people were. And obviously, even your dad, like Major General Rajinder Nath, when he would have joined as a second lieutenant, he would have come from a reasonably comfortable family.
Yes.
And going to those very hardy, sturdy conditions. And then that training, of which, the IMA, of course, he became a commandant. So just talk about his life and culture.
My grandfather, Dadaji, was a leading lawyer. And he had 4 sons. One joined law. My father joined the army. His younger brother joined the merchant navy. And I'm talking of way back in 40s. And the youngest again joined the army. And he was a prisoner of war in 1962.
That person.
My father had a lifelong passion, and that passion never left him, no matter what. He carried 3 things with him: dedication, commitment, and an absolute love of life. Wherever he may be, whatever be the situation, he radiated positivity. And he could egg on any junior. Very tough is somebody sort of double crossed or cheated. But other than that, he would go out of his way to tell a junior, young man, try this, maybe it works for you, and your career will go off. So he really pampered his juniors in many ways, and I think I carry the same. I've done it myself. It works. You get a very happy team.
Absolutely.
And even there's one famous incident about him when he was commanding a division. One of his battalion officers, his regimental battalion, was a bit of a maverick, the commanding. One officer had to go on leave for his marriage. He won't say yes. So to cut the long story short, this young officer came to my father's ADC, took his civil clothes, handed over his uniform and went off to Jalandhar.
Oh my God.
I'm getting married. My date is there. What the hell do I do? So while he went off, my father did come to know. So he called the young man. The CEO had put him on charge. After giving a 1 to right, left, center, he quietly says, young man, your CEO is pleased to give you 2 months leave, give you casual leave for the days you were absent, go back and get lost from here. So this is what he could do when he had a very positive, clear life. And even in his old age, at 94, he passed away at 98.
Last year.
Yeah. At 94, I had to tell him, Dad, please don't drive. He protested.
At 94?
At 94.
This is just before the COVID era?
Yeah. COVID did him down. More than my mother's passing, that staying inside.
You told me, we were in touch, and you told me that he wants to get ready and go. And he used to go to the blind school.
Yes.
I had met him when I was in the Chandigarh administration. I remember him to be so upright, and so upright in so many ways.
Yeah.
And a very warm personality. But what you rightly said is that these elderly people, when they could not go out, something was amiss.
Yes.
And that affected them.
And I think, in hindsight, all of us know, perhaps we panicked a bit more than was required because nobody knew what is this disease.
Yeah.
So everybody was into his own shelter, inside his house, not stepping out. Even doctors would hesitate to even come up to a gate.
Yeah.
So that was a very tough time.
It was a very tough time. We lost many people because they were alone in hospital. Had they been with it anyway, that's a different matter. But your dad exemplified so many hues of life.
Even otherwise, even if there were disappointments of maybe recognition, incidentally, he's 1947 commission, independence time.
Yeah.
1951, he was posted to Ladakh. He was the G3 intelligence of Army headquarters. He is the first Indian Army officer who went to Aksai Chin on reconnaissance, 3 months. In his own book, Strategic Ladakh, which he wrote at 90, he has mentioned the one part of it that he was asked to go in civil dress. So he took an appointment with the GOC of the division. Civil dress, I'll not go because I'll be shot if captured by the Chinese. I'll be a spy. I will go in uniform, which is my dignity.
Alone?
No, he had his troops.
He had his men, but he was the only officer.
But he was the only officer. So he said, I can't take that. If you agree, let me go in uniform. He spent 3 months. We have got all these top secret letters now. Of course, they are no more top secret at home complimenting him. He did show up Chinese interests in the area. But we were building peace. We neglected. By the time the next patrol went in 56, the Chinese had made the road. So we lost the area. But to save then reputations of not the force, army has nothing to do with it, but some other political leadership, it was decided play it down. And even when he wanted to write about it, 20 years after retirement, he was still given a letter when you took permission, that the Official Secrets Act still applies to you. So I told him at 90, that nothing going to happen.
Now you write.
Now you write. He said, I'm not losing my pension. You can do whatever you like.
But he wrote it.
He wrote, but he only referred, I went. But what he saw, he did not write.
But at 90 to write books?
Yes.
I mean, and then recalling an incident when he must have been 30 something.
Yes.
I mean, 50 to 60 years
Yes,
before.
yes.
And this is amazing. You know, I met Lieutenant General Dipinder Singh, who's 95 now. Your dad, who was 98. There is something about these men.
Yes.
What is that X factor that you feel?
I'll say straight on passion. A deep-rooted passion and a commitment to the country. My father had it in spades.
Spades.
You could give him any amount. And father-son conversation. Now, I had joined NABARD. So I knew a lot about the rural economy as such. If I would start saying, Dad, it's not like this, it's like this, the end question used to be, what about Pakistan? No, don't start that comparison. We are sticking to India.
I'm to NABARD.
We are not going to Pakistan versus India. India has this problem. I don't care what's their
cricket में ठीक है और ball में ठीक है. NABARD में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है.
And per capita income, I'm not bothered about them. But they have this lifelong passion, a genuine love for the country, a love for its people, and a deep-rooted empathy for the deprived. He could see somebody, like somebody told me when he was around 95, do you know your father is a saint soldier? I said, you're not seen his other side. But yes, he does reach out to people.
Firmness is part of it, Dineshji. I know that you're touched to remember him, and it's a very, I mean, any son looking up to a father like that, everyone is not lucky to have a father like that. But you know, firmness and compassion, they go together.
Oh, yes.
These values which they exemplify. But tell us any other anecdote that he would relate many a time. Any incident that was he was very fond of telling you about.
Well, Aksai Chin was one. Number two was Bangladesh war. You see, the war everybody talks about. What people don't mention is, and we tend to put on the back burner, the tremendous atrocities which the Pakistan army did. That used to move him a lot.
Right.
That how can a professional force go to the extent which it did?
Yeah.
Even his own regimental medical officer came to him. He was a Bengali. Now, doctors don't carry weapons. He simply said, would you allow me to carry weapons? I also want to kill a few. Because he was so hurt.
By what had happened before the...
And another thing which is leadership, after a tough battle, a young captain was injured badly. So, after it was all over, as the brigade commander, he went there. And the doctors told him, too bad. The young man won't live. And the young man was absolutely lying supine on a bed, stretcher. And the doctor told him like this. So, he went to his ear, bent down and shouted, young man, damn well get up, you will dance. Then he went to the other side and did that again. And the doctor told him, sir, what are you up to? You know, the young officer survived.
Oh, wow. Motivation.
Came back after the war, handed over his medal to my mother and said, while he thought I am not listening, actually I was. Because in that injury also, I was hearing, and his shout put me into a spirit that I have to fight for myself.
You know, spiritually also they say that the hearing lasts till the very end.
Till the end.
And we start talking about the person who's going. But here this man really exemplified that. Shows the 1971 surrender document.
This is GOC 9 Infantry Division of the Pakistan Army. He surrendered to my father. And this is the document which was signed. This is after the Battle of Madhumati.
And he's detailed all his...
yes. So all the men which they had by that time, all of them are listed out, the units. And this document is there. It's our family's heirloom, I would say.
So he surrendered before your father?
Yes.
Yeah, surrendered to your father?
And it's surrendered and it's written to the Commander 62 Infantry Brigade, which was my father. He was commanding it. And this is all there. And this is for us, the pride. His cane is also with us at home.
And this particular thing?
This is very interesting. All history books say the 71 war is 4th December 71 to 16th December. Now this is from his unit, 2nd 9 GR. In fond memory of the battles we fought together. Bangladesh, 23rd November 71, 16th December 71. Because on 23rd November, they were already into Bangladesh.
Into Bangladesh.
On 4th December, his Gorkha troops, he was from 11 Gorkha, so he knew Nepali well, Gorkhali. They told him, sir, can we remove that tehmat which we are wearing on top of our uniform now that it's officially declared? But otherwise, they were well within and they were having their skirmishes and battles and everything.
What men? I mean, this is a life which deserves to be talked about, deserves to be celebrated, and the memories are just. Don't you feel like writing on your dad? I mean, he had written on other things.
I have, in my own book, Varied Hues of Life, written one chapter, Life Lessons Learned from My Father. In that, not only have I written what I learned from him, it's the last chapter, which I kept purposely so that anybody can see it. It is what can dedication bring. Even when I was posted to Srinagar, relatives rang up, hoi, what happened, etc. My father had one word. In the toughest of places, if you are honest in your work, people are going to like it. I have lifelong friends from Kashmir even today.
Life lessons from my father.
So even today, I have lifelong friends because I didn't bother. जो है, I don't know. जो काम सामने आएगा, let us keep on doing and let's keep on planning ahead. And some people really went out of their way to help me. Bureaucrats, bankers, normal civilians of Srinagar.
You're talking about Kashmir. How long were you there?
3.5 years.
Tell us a little more about your travels in Kashmir and any experiences that you had.
Well, one was very unique. One of my officers, I was the OIC, officer in charge for Kashmir and Ladakh. He said, sir, there's a deprived village. It could do with what we call in our language watershed. I said, okay. I have no clue where I was going and I had no clue where the village was. I only said, you are Kashmiri. Zubair, you take me. So Zubair took me. When we reached there, he said, now you have to go up. I said, okay. With my 90 kgs, I will go up. So we went up. Then in the last part, because the snow had just melted, this was parallel to Gulmarg, so around 11,500 feet. So in the last part, the villagers brought me up. Then, of course, we had good discussions. Some government officers were also there. Then we sat down and it started raining a bit and light snow. So they said, "Aap raat ko ruk jao." मेरा सवाल नहीं उठता. I don't make that error.
खतरे में नहीं.
So they said, भाई लोग भी आए थे पर आप तो हमारे में का नहीं. मैं ठीक हूँ. We'll go. When we came out, the Kashmiri Deputy Director Agriculture, he said, I'm a Kashmiri, I'm used to walking. So he walked and he felt dumb. So I said, boss, I am not going. I need a horse. So I think I'm one of the few NABARD officers ever who came down 45 minutes on a horse.
Oh God.
Right down until it was, the jeep could be seen. Of course, our driver had panicked. Where the hell are you? And he said, जनाब क्या करते हो? आपको कुछ पूछना चाहिए. मैं सब इंस्पेक्टर रिटायर्ड हूँ. मेरे से पूछा करो. मैं अब तो हो गया यार. मेरे को गाड़ी में बैठा. But I came down on a pony. And the heavy snow of Kashmir and the chill. I thought I had gone from Shimla. Chill I know, but Kashmir ka chill. Then the floods, that floods which Jhelum brought. It was terrible.
You were there at that time.
I was there. I lost my personal library. My house was badly damaged, which I had rented out in a very nice locality, Johar Nagar. And many Kashmiris helped me also. I will not deny that. But the worst one part I'll say about the floods. Our office was on the first floor. Department of Science and Technology of Jammu Kashmir was on the ground floor. So one of my assistant managers, Gurwant Singh, was there. Water went down after a month. I'm going ahead and he says to me in Punjabi from behind, the Kashmiri Sikh otherwise, "Oh Sarji, daftar te thalle aa gaya." So I turned around and said, "What are you talking?" Actually, it was a wooden floor. It had cracked. So 2 rooms, all the tables and almirahs were down. So it was a terrible flood. We put everything back, did our work, brought everything back to normal. And I found Kashmir needed development and credit. The deep-rooted desire for credit. I have gone and sat with artisans in villages. I've been ticked off for it. by even Kashmiris.
Mm.
But I've done that at that time. And we reached out and did a lot of good work.
This kind of intervention can actually bring back stability, calmness, and development, which is a different matter. But what you just talked about is very interesting. And you did not join the armed forces. You preferred to avoid all that obstacle course, etc. But here you are in Kashmir, in the floods, in that uphill climb. So you had to undergo some of the tough times that your dad would have otherwise undergone in the army.
And one more thing which I have shared with you. When I joined initially Steel Authority for a few years, the dacoits raided our house and the police was inside.
Now we can laugh.
So yes, now of course.
But at that time
I was scared. And I have gone under the bed. The dacoit has come under the bed. And I have still now I can smell his fear and his sweat. And the policeman has entered, thrown the bed aside and shot him there, and his blood went all over the walls and my files.
But you were there too.
I was there too. I was right in front.
He knew who is the dacoit and who is the person.
Luck. And in my room, that dacoit let off 2 bullets, and one grazed me here, one grazed me here.
And you were a Steel Authority officer?
Yeah.
In which place?
Durgapur, West Bengal. Then I of course wrote the exam, passed NABARD, thinking industrial relations.
You were single at that time.
I was single.
Thank God.
Yes,
Thank God.
I was single. There was another colleague of mine. 2 of us were made to share a house. He joined Tata Steel. He retired as Director HR Air India, Suresh Tripathi.
So karma followed you and you were in the thick of all kinds of things. This Chandigarh Hindi Diwas and all is very...
nothing, very mundane.
Yeah, so dacoity ho rahi hai.
I found Kashmir adventurous. I found Himachal adventurous.
Tell us about Himachal.
Well, again, entrepreneurship is required. It has come up, but when I was serving, in my first phase, I found it had a long way to go in business sense. People are better. The bureaucracy is much better to work with. Much, much better. I will not even say much better. And when it snows, it's tougher than Kashmir because it's all on a slope.
Yeah.
So one day while coming back, I slipped. But I held myself. So I told somebody, can you help me? So the Himachal gentleman was very nice. कहता भाई साहब मदद तो मैं करूँगा. आप ये बता दो, are you going down or are you going up? Because the way my legs were out, he said I can't make out आप उधर को जा रहे हो या इधर को जा रहे हो.
जा कहाँ रहे थे आप?
मैं जा तो नीचे ही रहा था. But yes, Himachal, I found, we worked very hard with the Chinmay Tapovan Trust, the micro credit revolution of Himachal. We claim credit. I was part of that team. I've led it rather. I've led the team for poly houses. The amount of vegetables and fruits you see now. The vegetable part, we worked very closely with the state government on poly houses.
Right. No, I'm glad that you mentioned the administration because I, having been in the administration myself, have the same opinion that Himachal Pradesh probably has civil servants who are able to work in a more positive frame of mind.
They're welcome.
Than other places in India, I would say. Maybe North India, but India. So,
but I found even Kashmir, many of them were very nice. And
so that you'll find everywhere. Many of them you'll find are
and I also heard the reverse in Kashmir. When I went to the Baramulla District Cooperative Bank, the MD told me, अब थोड़ी सी शांति हुई. I'm talking way back 12-13. तो आप आ गए. 20 साल आप लोग कहाँ थे? I had to hear it.
This reminds me, you तो अभी got posted there ना? On the Shatabdi Express, I often, my favorite story, the waiter will come with the cutlets. The person will say, तुम अभी तक कटलेट खिला रहे हो 20 साल से 25 साल से. How does this fellow have the authority to change the menu? चलो, wrong comparison. But you have just arrived in Baramulla. It's not your fault कि 20 years से कुछ नहीं हुआ.
See, if the things were so bad, there's nothing anybody could do. The fear was there. I just turned up like that. कि चलो यार घुमाते हैं.
Let's talk about the outlook to life, towards life. We are at the Good Vibes show. You have this cheerful, peppy attitude. You've written the varied hues of life. What are the varied hues of life? Talk about them.
Varied hues of life, simple. Whatever interests a human being, be it romantic, be a good-looking lady distracting, be it a young man who's done well, be it something sad also, something which makes you think, something like a lonely boy on a train journey in Moscow. The whole gamut of emotions is there in it. And even ladies at a store in Puducherry who are looking for sarees. You know, I counted every bit of saree on my diary.
Well, madam was shopping or
she was shopping.
You had enough time.
I had enough time to go counter to counter, and I came to know India had so much range of sarees, I never knew it. And that I wrote that chapter also.
Very interesting. Also, what are you involved with now? Tell us about the blind school and other things.
Post-retirement, I have done, firstly, I say to people, you have a problem, you are young, you need a mentor. I'm there.
Right.
If you want to use me as a blackboard and bounce your ideas, if my experience and reading and meeting people of varied professions is helpful, I'll share my viewpoint with you. Sometimes you feel disturbed when you are let down, but normally I control it.
This is good.
Then I work with agri startups. Right now, informally, we have formed a forum. I told them, we don't talk to each other. You are running your startup, you are running your startup. Incubators are on their own. Why don't we have an informal forum where we sit once, no Zoom, so that nobody is recording.
Yeah.
We sit and talk. Panchayat Chopal. After it's over, we go our respective ways. But we throw up ideas. We help each other, we collaborate. So I do that also.
And the blind school?
Blind school, I, as the chairperson and SVP, it's hands-on. I remain very devoted to it. I am also conscious of the fact that my father ran it for 38 years. So I don't want him looking up there and saying, what are you up to? So I would like to do my good part of it. I do that. I do a lot of writing on my blog.
Tell us about that. Because you have this humorous way of looking at things, witty, observant. So that, and then you're also able to reproduce that. So I, as a writer myself, find that it's a similar way of looking and expressing. So where did you develop it and how is it going? How is your writing journey?
My writing journey is simple. If I enter a place, I can sit quietly and just watch. And if I find two people are interacting in a different manner which is interesting, I can build upon it and then let it flow. Sometimes I have to camouflage because I don't want to be sued in court.
Yeah.
Or I don't want somebody saying you spoiled our friendship.
You find some dating couples and then you write about them also. I
once wrote and my good friend Jatinder rang up and said, don't write. That guy who was sitting behind you was my friend. So I said, due to you, I'll convert it into retired army officer. I'll remove anything which can give a clue as to who he is.
So you haven't landed into trouble yet.
Not so far.
So it's absolutely
But
fine.
I have found it very interesting. People, their interactions, and you know, even if I may say so, though I think my wife will kill me for this. If she says, "Hum aise karte hain, this is how we do." Actually, on that proposal, what I'm getting a message is, we are going to do this only.
No, she won't kill you for it. But you probably said it before.
But you learn to understand. Now the stage has come where you say, "ठीक है, we do this only."
I met ma'am and I think she's a very amiable lady. बाकी आपको पता है, your rapport is good. ये जो mustaches हैं आपकी तो parallel हैं sir की ऊपर को जा रही थी. But that living a life which is, you know, obviously in the footsteps of your dad in your own way. How is the overall sum and substance of it? What is your feeling about it?
See, one thing is there, the shadow of your father is always there. And we learn to live with it. Because it's there. But you also get inspired by it. You sort of feel, if my great-grandfather could write a book, my grandfather could practice and write, my father could do so much, maybe I can also. Maybe not of that type, maybe not to that level, but give it a go. And if you give it a go with happiness, life is going to have its problems. They are not going to go away. But within that, if you can share your knowledge, meet people, and then you go back to whatever you have to do, it's a very happy experience on them.
No, great vibes. Great vibes. I enjoy what you said. It's a great closing. And your dad, I mean, he went at 98, which is as good as a double century. We are both cricket lovers. We are on the glorious cricket group. These numbers don't matter.
Right.
The the life in your years
Yes.
matters more than the years in your life.
Absolutely.
Which is not our quote, but we can borrow it.
Yes, yes, yes.
So thank you, Dinesh ji. It's been wonderful to talk to
Thank
you on
you
the
so
Good
much.
Wife Show and talk about your illustrious father and your family. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thanks a
All
lot.
the best.
Grateful.